One of the most famous dishes in Portugal is called bacalhau. It is salted cod. Interestingly, while I was researching this topic, I discovered that there's actually no bacalhau in Portuguese waters. They import bacalhau from the North Atlantic. Portugal's love for cod goes back to the 14th century through trade with England, but it wasn't until the 1500s, when explorers reached the rich fishing grounds of Newfoundland and Greenland, that Portuguese crews started to actually fish cod far from home. The industry modernized in the late 1800s and expanded massively under state organized campaigns in the 1930s and beyond. Dan and I are in a restaurant appropriately called bacalhau. Bacalhau starts off rock hard and salty. It's soaked for a day or two to rehydrate and remove the salt. Then it's gently cooked and used in dozens of classic Portuguese dishes. On the left, it is bacalhau with potatoes, onions, and olive oil. And on the right is bacalhau in cream or bacalhau con nata. This is the Casa Portuguesa Pastel Bacalhau, where the bacalhau with cheese pastry is celebrated. You can find this delightful pastry throughout Portugal and definitely worth stopping for. The other staple in the Portuguese diet is the sardine. In every major city in Portugal, you will find the fantastic world of the Portuguese sardine, each uniquely decorated, but they all carry sardines packaged in innovative ways. The packaging could be the name of a Portuguese city or area by year and includes interesting related details. Portuguese sardines are a summertime icon, small, oily, super flavorful fish that are simply grilled over charcoal and finished with olive oil and lemon. They're especially famous during the Santos Populares festivals in June, where streets fill with smoke, music, and the smell of sardines. Cheap, delicious, and deeply tied to everyday life, sardines represent Portugal's love of simple food done perfectly, fresh fish, good bread, good company. The other delight that Portugal is known for is the pastel de nata. Pastel de nata was born in Lisbon in the 18th century at the Geronimos Monastery in Belém. Monks used a lot of egg whites to starch clothes and clarify wine, so they were left with piles of yolks. Rather than waste them, they turned those yolks into rich desserts, including the creamy custard that would become the nata. After the liberal revolution of 1820, monasteries were closed and the monks had to make money to survive. In 1837, they sold the secret recipe to a nearby sugar refinery, which opened the famous Fábrica de Pastéis de Belém. That bakery still claims the original closely guarded recipe today, and locals will tell you that the only true pastéis de Belém, while everywhere else makes pastéis de nata. Crispy, flaky pastry, plus silky custard, plus a hint of cinnamon, it's an instant national treasure. It went from monastery survival dessert to Portugal's most famous sweet, now beloved worldwide. At one point, they tried to mass manufacture the pastel de nata, but it failed miserably. So today, every nata that is sold and eaten in Portugal is made by hand. Like their food, Portuguese enjoy their drink. Ginja was born in Lisbon in the 19th century. This drink is made by infusing ginja berries, sour cherries, and aguardiente, grape brandy, with sugar and sometimes cinnamon. The most famous origin story credits the Galician monk Francisco Espinera, who began selling it around 1840 near Rocio Square. What started as a small homemade remedy-style liqueur quickly became a street tradition. Locals would stop for a quick shot at tiny bars, often drinking it standing up. Over time, ginja became part of everyday life, a sweet, warm sipping after meals or on cool evenings. The tradition spread beyond Lisbon to places like Obidos, which is now famous for serving ginja in little chocolate cups.
Crema.
Why not?
So we're going to have a local delicacy. It's a shot of
Ginja.
ginja in a chocolate cup that they make. So that's how they do it here. Would you like to record me doing it?
Yes.
Salud. 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 Cheers. Se manja, huh?
No, drink first
And then eat.
and then eat.
Drink first.
Port wine took shape in the 17th and 18th centuries thanks to a trade war. When England fell out with France and couldn't get French wine, British merchants turned to Portugal's Douro Valley. The wines were rich but unstable for the long sea trip, so producers began adding grape brandy or aguardiente during fermentation. That fortification stopped fermentation early, leaving natural sweetness and higher alcohol, and suddenly the wine could survive the journey to England. Port was born. The wine was made upriver in the Douro, then shipped down the river to Vila Nova de Gaia to age in cool cellars before export. British merchant families like Sandeman, Taylor, Graham, etc., set up lodges here, which is why so many famous port houses have English names. In many cultures, how food is served is just as important as what is served. In Portugal, food is often served as petiscos, or small shareable dishes meant for grazing with drinks. So I'm ordering fusilli with 4 cheeses, and that is a big ass block of cheese. So he's putting it in there, warming it up, and he's going to scrape the cheese off and mix it. This is a trained professional. Do not do this on your own. And voila, and now it's time to eat.
Zero.
Yes. In Portugal, everyone has to eat, including the birds. And yet, are they fattening themselves up for someone else? Maybe. After all, he has to eat too.